Hello, welcome to the next video. Today we're going to be talking about molar masses. Okay, this is sort of going to wrap up Unit 3 for us. So you can expect a summative assessment to be coming up relatively soon. I think we're going to do it shortly after Thanksgiving break. So just so you're aware of that. Okay, so the objective for this lesson, you're going to be able to calculate the molar mass of a compound based on its chemical formula. And specifically, you're going to be using atomic mass values on the periodic table to calculate the molar mass of a compound. It's actually super simple. So remember, on the periodic table, each entry has a few numbers, okay? This top number is the atomic number. That is the number of protons, right, that are in an atom of that compound, or an atom of that element, I should say. Then you also have the element symbol, the element name, and then you get to this number down here, which usually has some decimal places. What is this number? I know this picture here says atomic weight. I remember talking about this in the past. I prefer to call this the atomic mass. Okay, mass and weight kind of mean the same thing. So atomic mass, that's actually what I prefer to call it. These are the numbers that we are going to be using today as we calculate molar masses, okay? And I'll show you how that works here in just a second. So each compound, like the ones that we've been studying recently, okay, take this picture here for example, each compound has a unique mass, okay, its weight. If you add up the masses of all the elements in the compound, you will find the compound's mass, and this is referred to as the molar mass for that compound, kind of like the molecular mass, just a slightly different word there. Okay, so let's take this compound for example. This formula would be CH4, right? 1 carbon and 4 hydrogens. Okay, so what would its overall mass be? Well, it contains 1 carbon and 4 hydrogens, so all we need to do is add up the masses of these different elements, 1 carbon and 4 hydrogens. So let me be super clear, okay? If I pull up my periodic table, let me find those two elements. Here's carbon, and here's hydrogen, okay? Our formula was CH4, okay? So the molar mass for CH4 is going to be equal to 1 times the mass of carbon, right? 1 carbon times 12.0107 plus the mass of 4 hydrogens, okay? 4 times this number, 1.00794, okay? I know these are long numbers. Don't round them, okay? Avoid rounding them, all right? You know, the assignment that you're going to be doing for me is going to be a Canvas quiz about this, so you know you're probably going to be able to figure out the right answer, okay, since there'll be multiple choice questions. But you know, just to be safe, all right, don't round these numbers, okay. You're going to end up with some decimal places. I know that that's kind of a pain, but just use your phone, right? Or if you have a calculator, or you know, you can use Desmos, or just type it into your internet browser, and Google will do the work for you. You can type this in, and it's going to give you your final answer, which is the molar mass for this compound. Okay, so here's the math once again: 1 times the mass of carbon plus 4 times the mass of hydrogen. That comes out to be 16.0425 for this compound. Okay. Now technically, these molar masses have units. Okay, so remember, like if you go and weigh yourself on a scale, that's going to be in pounds, right? Like you weigh a certain number of pounds. Some of you probably weigh like 120 pounds. Some of you probably weigh more like 180 pounds, or maybe more, right? I'm sort of in the middle there. I weigh like 150. If you were in England or somewhere else in Europe, well, not England, but if you were somewhere else in Europe or somewhere else in the world, you would weigh yourself in kilograms, right? That's a different unit of measurement. For molar masses, the unit that we are going to use is grams per mole, okay, or G per mol, okay? We're going to talk more about what a mole is in the second semester. We're not really going to get to that until the second semester, but for now, you can just label each of your answers with this unit. And like I said, In your Canvas quiz, as long as you're able to calculate the right answer, you're going to be able to get to the correct answer. Okay, having the unit on there is not super important, at least not at this stage. That'll become more important, like I said, in the second semester when we do a little bit more work with this. Okay, so here's one more example just to wrap things up. A bit of a larger compound here. We have 2 carbons, 5 hydrogens, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 nitrogen and 1 oxygen. So here's my formula, C2H5NO, right? So the molar mass, like I said before, it's just the sum of all of the different elements that you have. So 2 times the mass of carbon, let me just label this here, 2 times the mass of carbon, plus 5 times the mass of hydrogen, okay, plus 1 times the mass of nitrogen, plus 1 times the mass of oxygen. Okay, so that accounts for all of my elements here. 2 carbons, 5 hydrogens, 1 nitrogen, 1 oxygen. And so your final answer there is 59.0672. And like I said, technically the units here would be grams per mole. Okay, we're not going to really bother with this too much today, but this will become more important next semester. Okay, so your objective for today, though, is just to be able to calculate this answer using those values on the periodic table. Okay, so remember, you have a link to the periodic table in Canvas, and you can use your cell phone or you can use a calculator on the computer to do the math part for you. Okay, I'll talk more about your Canvas quiz and do another example for you shortly after the video. All right, thanks for watching.